As an entrepreneur, having your elevator pitch properly mastered, that's a good thing. But you also need a plan, okay, a proper plan for your main pitch. A full pitch can be between 10 to 30 minutes long. It will depend on the audience and the purpose. So to make it easy, you need to structure your pitch in terms of introduction, the main body, and summary, which is supposed to invite questions and all that. Now let's talk about the introduction. So the introduction of your main pitch, remember, this is the main pitch now, the long one, okay? Supposing you did an elevator pitch and the person was like, yeah, I'm interested. Let's meet and then tell me more about this business. So that's where the main pitch is coming in, right? So the introduction of the main pitch. Now, rule 1, okay, of any introduction in communication is that it has to capture the attention of your audience. So in this case, you want to tell the story of the product, okay? Give the problem that is being addressed or the moment you had the creative idea to fill the gap in the market. And then telling the story is one thing. Number 2, give a solution. So there is a problem, tell us about the solution. So that's number 2. Your solution could be technical, which means there could be some members of the audience who don't understand it. So this is where you have to use visual aids. Okay, always show them, don't tell them. I mean, that's pretty much the rule, right? So make it easier, make it clear, make it easier for the audience to understand. And the third thing about your introduction, build credibility. Okay, once the problem and the product has been discussed, it's important to present credentials. I'm talking about things like history, qualifications, experience in the field, and why you're the best person to run the enterprise. So that is part of the introduction. That is part that is supposed to capture the audience attention, because once you have the attention, it's time for you to jump to the main body, which is number 2. The main body of your pitch should cover timescale, market, customers, and competition. It will show finance, okay? It will show finance and other needs. So let's talk about the timescale and all that stuff, right? So timescale, market, customer, and competition. So at this point, you want to bring out the timeline of how things are going to happen and, if appropriate, the exit strategy. For this period, you should demonstrate how you understand the market. There is details about research, forecast, and analysis. The customers, their requirement, disposable income if appropriate, and their buying habits. You also need to show their buying habits, okay? Because if they're just buying once and then they want to buy again, then you see that's a problem, right? You also want to show competition, okay? Okay, so competition relating to the products, substitute, and power of suppliers. So that is part of you showing that you really know what you're talking about. You also want to talk about your finances. That is the next thing, the finances, okay? So as far as finances are concerned, what do you need to show them? Well, you need to talk about income, expenditure, investment, and financial management, okay? The finance itself is key, but you must also demonstrate how you will earn and manage your income, which is important. How are you going to earn and manage your income? Because otherwise, if you know of these businesses which make money and then they just go bankrupt. Why? Because of poor financial management. That happens. If it happens in personal life, it can also happen in business. So you have to be good at financial management. This will show competence and good planning. So the pitch may not really allow time for you to go into other things. But if there are things which are relevant to the pitch, things like intellectual property, okay, premise and future product development, you want to bring that one out. Now the last part is the summary. So you got their attention, you told them what you wanted to tell them. Now you remind them of what you say, okay? So summarize the entire thing, and if there is any question, or if there are questions, you need to answer those ones. Now your summary means it's time to invite questions from investors after you've summarized everything. So this section reviews what is on offer, what is needed. It is also useful for you to ask the investors for advice and feedback, okay? And ask, who else should I talk to? Now, why is that important? You see, that is important because if they don't accept your deal and they've given you referrals, then at least you know where else you can go. So that is your main pitch. I mean, it's going to be long. It's like 10 to 30 minutes. Sometimes it's just 10 minutes. The point is you also need to have that. So master your elevator pitch, the one for like 30 seconds to 1 minute, and then have a long pitch for if you're told, come and talk about this thing in details. If there is any question, do let me know. I'm Moses, And yeah, I'll see you in the next lesson.